and go down quite significantly. I also had a look to see which our most expensive property was. It's a private lodge on the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, and it's £150 a night. But if you compare it with similar properties that you'll get on the corporate and the big commercial websites, it's probably around a third of the price. So in that way, other than the prices, it's probably no different to what you might find on any normal holiday break property site. What I think makes it special and different is, of course, the military angle.
Yeah, the discount for military or ex-military in the families, yeah.
That's right. We run it as a community service, so it's a not-for-profit organisation. So as long as we can cover the costs of running the site and the service, and we can keep it going, then that's fine. And if we do make a surplus at any stage, we can obviously plough that back into it to either make the site better or to reach more members of the military community. But I think what makes it a little bit special is what you've already pointed out, which is the discounts, but also something we call the welfare weeks. I'll come on to that in a second. I think the discounts are clearly the key feature for most people. All of the properties have discounts that are specifically aimed at the military community. And so by that I mean obviously serving sailors, soldiers and Air Force, but also veterans, their families and so on, and reservists, not forgetting reservists. So basically anyone who has ever taken the Queen's shilling for at least a day is eligible to use the site and get the discounts.
Now, can I just interrupt there a little bit? In that sense, you're working the same, you've got the same sort of ethos as Veterans Radio Net and the British Legion and that. Anybody that's taken the shilling. Some charities only work with combat veterans, but you're not one of those. No, you work with anybody that's taken the Queen's shilling.
That's right, and anybody with a family connection, so it could be parents and children as well as a specific individual. Probably the people that sign up the most are the spouses of serving soldiers, and probably at the moment that we've got just under 1,000 registered users on the site, and it probably splits 50-50 between serving soldiers and their families and veterans, and fantastic. I suspect that's how it will continue.
Yeah.
The way we work the discount structure is very, very simple. Some of these properties are exclusive to us in that they are only available to families and holidaymakers with military connections, and that's usually because the owner is a military veteran themselves.
Yeah.
Most of them, however, they are available on the open market to the general public. And what we do on the site is we publish the open market price, and then the detail in each property explains what the discount is for registered military members. And we have a simple policy, and that is that the discount that the owner offers to the military community has to be at least 10%. But in quite a lot of cases, it's a lot more. So it could be up to as much as 25 or 30% in some cases. And that's in addition to some of these, great prices that we were already talking about. So the property I mentioned earlier that's slightly less than £10 per day, that's actually before the military discount of 10% is applied. So they can be great value for money, of course, if it's in the right place for you.
Yeah, well, everybody's looking for value for money, sir.
That's right, and some of these are pretty large properties. For example, we've got a property out in Florida which is a little bit more expensive. It's actually around £75 a night after the discount, but it will sleep 10 people. So if you've got a couple of large families that want to go over and spend a couple of weeks at Disney World and doing all the sort of normal Florida type vacation activities, then that actually works out really good value for money. So we were quite pleased to be able to get that one.
Yeah,
signed up and onto the site.
Yeah, can I just ask, because I can imagine a question being asked, Florida, 2 large families, is that £75 per person per night or £75 per night?
No, that's £75 for the whole property.
Fine,
so that's £7.50. That's £7.50 per person if you got 10 people to go.
Yep.
And in addition to that, there's a free hire car that comes with it because, of course, when the owner's not there, he doesn't need his car.
Oh, well.
So that's available on a fully insured basis. So and it's about I'm told about I haven't checked on the map, but I'm told it's about 10 minutes away from Orlando, Disney World, and so on and so forth. And so sometimes these can turn out to be really great deals. But I think although the price is clearly the main attraction for most of the people that use the site, there are a couple of other things as well. The first is the terms. We found, and I'm sure you will have found this during your time in service, that the sort of terms that are offered by holiday companies to members of the military are not always what we need. We can't do that level of planning, forward planning, that so many other people can do when they book their holidays. You know, we don't have the certainty that others have. So what we do is we don't charge large deposits. We don't ask for the balance early. You know, we don't ask for penalties if people cancel. It's a small deposit to secure the booking. It's £25 regardless of the size of the booking. And we don't ask for the balance until a month before the rental itself so that we can pay the owner. I think more importantly, what we don't do is that if there is a last-minute cancellation for such things as cancelled leave, or having to do a tour, or not being able to get back in time. You know, a lot of people will book holidays in their leave periods when they're returning from ops and so on.
Yeah.
We won't, we're happy to take that as a cancellation, and we won't charge a penalty for that, and we'll even pay the deposit back. And I think that seems to be quite an attractive part of the service, because people recognise that we're trying to make that as user-friendly to the serving community as possible. Obviously, that's not as important or as big a factor for veterans.
No.
But I think the other thing I'll mention, if I may, is something we call welfare breaks.
Please do, go ahead.
We insist that every owner offers up at least one welfare week each year. Some offer more. We've got some that will offer up to 3 or 4 separate weeks in the course of each holiday year. And effectively what that is, it's a free week. So somebody taking advantage of a welfare week, all they have to find is the cost of the flight and they're spending money while they're out there. And we keep an up-to-date list on the site so people can quickly see when the welfare weeks are and on which properties. And what we do is we make those weeks available to all the different service charities, to regimental associations, to the unit welfare officers and to hives. And we ask them to identify individuals and families that they think would benefit from having a free week and deserve a free week.
Yeah.
A welfare week can only be booked by one of those organisations. We don't let people book it direct, and we leave it to those organisations to decide who ought to qualify.
Okay, can I just backtrack there a little bit? You said the regimental associations, etc., but the British Legion and SAFA, people like that, can book these for veterans, their families, ex-service personnel.
That's right. Yep. So there's
Fantastic.
as well as an opportunity for an individual military member to register on the site, so that they can take advantage of the discounts and so on. We've also got a registration specifically for charities, regimental associations, welfare officers' hives, and so on. And when they get in touch, we keep them abreast of when all the welfare weeks are, and they can come along at any time and say, look, we've got this particular family or this particular individual, can we book that welfare week for them? And as long as the family or the charity or another third party can find the cost of the flights, then the property is completely free of charge for that week. And so we think that's quite a useful addition to have. And I know that we get quite a lot of supportive comments from people using the site, that is on offer. But to be fair, it's the owners that we have to thank for that.
Yeah,
to provide it.
That just sounds absolutely outstanding, mate. That sounds fantastic. So
I think that's it as far as the site works. We launched it back in September of last year. We've managed to add just over 50 properties so far. I had a quick check this morning. The majority are in Spain, various locations in Spain, but we've also got properties now in Malta, Cyprus, Florida, and the one I mentioned in Australia. And as each month goes by, we get a few more on there. So it's not a huge amount at the moment, but hopefully as each month and each year goes by, we'll hope to get eventually perhaps several hundred properties on there for people of the military and veterans to be able to see and use and take advantage of.
Yeah. I can just interrupt a second, if I may. I can see this work in two ways. A, people will want to come to you and take a look at your site and think about booking a holiday. but there might be one or two listeners with holiday homes somewhere that they might want to offer up. Hopefully. Are you listening out there, guys?
Well, you're absolutely right, Ken, because the key to success of this is two-way, really, because we're the glue in between a private owner who would like to find people to utilize their property when they're not, and members of the military community that, as we all do, like to see a good deal and feel good about the fact that deal's just been offered out to them. So as long as we keep getting some good value properties being added to the site, and we continue to let as many people in the military community know about what we're doing, then we'll be able to keep it running, hopefully for many, many years to come. Yeah,
fingers crossed, mate. I mean, on Veterans Radio Net, my motto, thing I say quite often is, we're not going anywhere. We're here to stay, and I can imagine it's something you guys might be saying on a regular basis as well. It's started, it's growing, and the world's our onion, as they say.
That's absolutely right. It's quite a popular site even now after only 6 months. Normally we will give people the web address as you do, and for those that are not quite sure, it's really simple. It's militaryBreaks.co.uk. But what we've recently discovered is if you just type Military Breaks into Google, it's right at the top of the first page.
Yes.
So it's clearly very popular. Otherwise, that wouldn't be happening. So that's something that we're really pleased about. But to all those of your listeners out there, pay us a visit, have a look round, register with us so you can get the discounts and the special offers that we send out from time to time, and just go and have a great holiday.
That is absolutely fantastic. Now, as I explained to you when we first spoke, what will happen with this interview is I will play it. I'll probably put it on tomorrow night's program, and I haven't used dates or days on it deliberately, but I'll put it on tomorrow evening's program. But it will be archived as a podcast, and later on, when I've got enough interviews together to do a page on the website, they will all be put there by title of the charity or what the interview is about, and people can then come and cherry pick what they want, and there'll be a link to lead them to that. So this is, this is going to join that small but growing list I've got, and that's the way we'll use it, fellas. So, is there anything else?
Really great.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to put in before we finish, Dave?
No, I think I'm quite. I'm quite happy with that. Obviously, I have to see what it listens to. But when you get it up on the site, what we'll do is we'll drop a link to it from our site as well, so people can go on and listen to it. Although I suspect actually to be the other way around, people will listen to your podcast and then come and find us. But no, that's great, and every little helps. And good luck with your venture as well.
Well,
sounds really exciting.
Yeah, well, we're growing rapidly. I am through the Veterans Radio Net Facebook page. I've liked your page, and so that occasionally the odd post from yours comes up on our page anyway, just because of that link. And I will continue to do that. And mate, thank you for your good wishes there, and straight back at you. All credit to you guys, and fingers crossed, onward and upward.
Thanks, Ken. To you too.
Okay, fella.
Right, all right, well, my friend. Bye-bye.
Yeah, cheers now. Bye-bye.
Cheers, bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right, well, that was the interview. A couple of comments come up on chat box there, saying that they are, Military Breaks are a commercial enterprise. Dave said they were a not-for-profit organisation, so, as he said, any profit that they do make at some point in the future will go back to, will be played back into it, which is what Veterans Radio Net is going to be, a not-for-profit organisation. Once the paperwork is finished, then we get our kicks, our community interest group, community interest company status. Yes, the British Legion do some breaks and that are for free, but as Dave did say there, that the regimental funds, the charities, can nominate veterans families who they think would benefit from a holiday, and can pay for the holiday for the veteran, so it gets paid for that way. The fact that the majority of the properties are owned by ex-service personnel, again, we're keeping it in the family. That's I mean, one point is that's earning money for for veterans because they own the property and they're doing a favour for other veterans. So